The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing. Why every man in my thinking? What are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC. You can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's. He'll trust you.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got an exciting show for you guys today. And before we get started, we're going to be having the Wise Guyz come on from the Wise Guyz Show, a show that Ron actually was on last week and had a blast.
Love them.
And then we've got superstar actor Kevin Caliber, who's also super good looking. We met at a premiere last week or so coming on, and he's got some great credits, and I think we're going to have a blast with him. We've also got a chat room filled with people, so let's say hi to Teresa Sabin. Hello. Cindy Lady Lake Music, Angela Joseph, B. Claudia, Boomer Mays, Backpack John. I don't know who else is in there. But yes, everybody, and yes, you guys. So we just did If These Walls Could Talk with Tim Mawson and Wendy Stewart Kaplan. Ron looked totally different there, and now he's back to himself. So let's welcome our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
I love the two of them. They're good friends of mine. So I decided to do a campy drag. I had a wig and makeup, and I went on as Eileen Shapiro. And I had a huge pillow under my shirt because I had to look like Eileen with those huge bombers that she's got. And we had a fabulous show full of laughs, full of movie star talk. Please watch it. I guarantee you will be hysterical.
Actually, everybody said it. So we also have Jimmy, the Aquarius View. Jimmy's in the chat room. Artist Miss Kim is in the chat room. Dawn Hinton is in the chat room, and they were all, most of those people were all in the chat room for the other show too. So Ron did a quick presto change-o, get rid of the makeup and the wig and the boobs. And now he's back, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. So I hope everybody's doing well and having a good time. They all said it was great.
Yeah,
also,
I didn't shave, and my hair's now fucked up from the wig. So forgive what I look like.
Oh, you look fabulous.
I do not look fabulous. I look disheveled.
No, it was like freaking like awesome. I want to give a shout out to Teresa Sabin. You guys, Teresa Sabin is the coolest person like ever. So Ron had a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, and I talked to her while he was in the doctor's appointment. She's really like, not only is she one of the most supportive people ever, but she's really just one of the coolest ladies ever. So I just want to thank her for all the wonderful things she does for us.
I went to the doctor because I have bronchitis. Could you imagine getting bronchitis? You don't get bronchitis living in the Death Valley.
In the desert.
But I caught it in New York, and I got rid of it, and then it came back.
Which was funny. Oh, and everybody says it was a great show with Wendy and Tim. Angela Joseph, what's up? How are you? Yay. Cindy Lady Lake, what's up? How are you? Yay.
I'm eating mince because my stomach is upset from the shit I'm taking. I'm taking antibiotics, and what is it, steroids?
A steroid.
Steroids. 2 steroids.
Prednisone. No, 1 steroid. Prednisone.
I took 2 of them.
I know, but it's just 1 steroid.
And they're like speed.
They say you sound much better this week, though.
Oh, yeah, my voice is back. I didn't sleep last night because I took 1. And the doctor said to me, whatever you do, take them in the daytime. Do not take them at night or you'll never sleep. Well, I took them in the daytime, and I still didn't sleep. They last a long time. Now, I took 2 today, so if in the middle of the show I start to fly, around the room, don't get scared.
You never know.
So what are we going to talk about, boring person?
What do you mean, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. You're the one who talks the first 10 minutes to tell people what you did for the weekend. What did we do?
No, but you know what? Wendy Stewart kept saying Ron Russell always talks. You know what? If you see her show, she doesn't let Tim talk. She does all the talking. So,
No, he
it
talks.
takes one to know one, or it takes one to call one,
Yes, that's funny.
right?
They said
Doesn't Wendy talk the whole show?
no, he talked too.
Very little. Tim talks like you, very little.
I talk a lot. It's just that I always get shut down, but that's okay.
Honey,
We're okay.
I shut you down because the show will go down.
No, it won't.
Jimmy, you don't have a good sense of humor. You're not a comedian.
I know, but not everybody wants just laughs all the time.
No, but they don't want to hear about your clothing designer 50 times.
What do you mean? The people in the chat room asked a question about it, so obviously somebody wanted to hear about it.
Honey, you are a businessman. You make money, not funny.
That's okay. So Angelo's in the green room, but we're gonna wait a minute because it's a little bit too early. Hang on, Angelo. Angelo is one of the wise guys from the Wise Guyz Show, and I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name, so they're gonna have to let them all pronounce their own name because they're all Italian, and I can't.
I bet
pronounce
I
any
could
of
pronounce every one of them.
them. Well, we'll see when
bet
they
you.
come on. Well, you better be able to. You're Italian.
Now, what's this thing on the top with our show? You're not seeing the painting.
That's okay.
And I lowered the painting so you could see the farmhouse and the beautiful Tuscan trees,
That's okay.
because this oil is of Tuscany, Italy.
That's actually more important up there. That it's what the people are watching because we're trying to brand ourselves. So it's more important than the painting.
They know who I am.
I know. We need to.
They may not know who you are, but they know who I am.
Oh, they definitely know who I am. Actually, it was Dawn who asked about the clothes. Yes to that, Kim. I missed that.
What else are they going to ask you about? They ask you about the clothes.
Oh, Roger the Wild Child shows in the chat room too. What's up, Roger? How you doing? Nice to see you here.
I didn't have lunch because we did that other show, and I'm hungry. And I have in my refrigerator leftover, guess what? Spaghetti done in, my brain just fainted. Spaghetti with sun-dried tomatoes, which is my favorite, garlic and olive oil. I would have had that for lunch, but we had to do the other show first and then this show. So I'll be working 3 hours today, and that's a lot. So I have to have a lot of stuff to think about to come up with, not to sound redundant, boring, like
Well, you have
somebody next
people.
to me.
You have people coming on. You don't have to worry about it. Like the people, talk also.
Maybe,
Well, they always
if
do.
I allow them.
Yeah, if that's true. If you allow.
See, I look old.
So what did you
if,
see?
If I don't shave, I look like an old man.
You're supposed to give your recommendations of like what people should be watching and all kinds of things. That's what you do every week. So what did you watch that you liked? We watched a movie called The Wild
You
Wedding.
think I remember?
Oh, we watched
There
a
was a
movie
Joan
called on Tubi
Collins movie that I really enjoyed.
with David Hasselhoff.
With David Hasselhoff. The name of it was
I don't know that one.
the Secretary.
On
or
Tubi,
something
though.
like that. On Tubi.
We watched The Maid. That was a good one on Tubi.
Right. I only watch fun movies, light comedies, feel-good movies, romance movies. I am not watching these horrible, dark, dreary, poor people, dirty houses, broken factories, cars smashing, crazy people beating each other up. There's too much of that in the world in real life. We don't need to see it in film. I wish they would go back to filming movies where they show politeness, manners, caring, goodnesses, kind people, not these violent, mean, angry, shoot them, kill them, chop them, beat them up, crash into them movies.
Well, I think that the movies that we liked a lot were The Maid with Martin Sheen and Jacqueline Bisset.
Yeah, I love Jacqueline.
And we also liked.
Did you know Jacqueline Bisset is Angelina Jolie's godmother?
Yes.
Not you. I'm telling the audience.
And we also liked what was the one?
The fuck do I know?
The Wild Wedding with Patrick Stewart and I forgot, but they're all on Tubi.
I know the movies. I just don't remember the titles.
Glenn Close. It had Glenn Close, Patrick Stewart, and the bald guy. I forgot his name.
It was a good movie.
It was good.
He's the one with the 3 names.
It was good though. You guys should check him out.
Yeah. I'm sorry we can't give you. We know I told Jimmy we have to have a pad and paper, and every time we see a good movie, write it down, because Jimmy's brain dead, and I've been brain dead for years. So we don't get too far helping our.
I just can't
friends
remember
out.
like his name.
Well, I can't remember most anything, and it's not because I'm old. It's because I've always been this way. I am a Gemini. I have 7,000 thoughts going in my mind at once. As I'm sitting here talking to you, I could be decorating my living room. I could be driving in my car. I could be kissing my dog. All these things come in at the same time, and who takes over or who wins the brass ring is what I remember. And I don't remember too much. Why is my mic going on? We got to get new equipment, El Cheapo.
There's nothing wrong with your mic.
Yeah, it's cutting in and out of my ears.
Oh,
I
that might
hear
be your
it one.
headphones.
I hear it in one ear, then it goes off. Then I hear it in the other ear. You know, he don't part for anything for this show. Well, you know, I don't blame him in a way because we don't make any money. We need sponsors. If anybody out there wants to really push their product, 5 million people watch us all over the world. I could sell your goodies in a minute. I could sell syphilis if you want me to.
You didn't wear a watch today, did you?
No, I didn't. I was
Apologize to Dawn.
Dawn, I'm sorry. I was washing the makeup off in the kitchen sink.
Oh, is that how you did it so fast? I was
Well, I'm an old show boy. You know, this is. I mean, I used to be in full rigor. What's the word? Not rigor. In full
rigor mortis. That's
no,
dead.
no. Rigor. What is the word I'm looking for? Regalia. I used to be in full regalia. I'd go backstage to my dressing room, and then people would start to come back to see Jane Russell, who I impersonated, and they'd look and they'd say, "But where is he?" And I'd say, "That's me." They couldn't believe that I was washed out and debroad. And they'd say to me, "But you don't have boobs." She does. And they patted on my chest because I used to jack them up, my pecs, to look like big boobs. Excuse me for burping. It's the mints. And they say, "But you're Ron Russell. She's much shorter than you are." And I would explain, on stage, we all look smaller than we are. In person, I'm 6 foot. In high heels, I'm 6'3". So I'm actually taller on stage than I am in my dressing room. Anyway, I had to go through all that bullshit every time I worked. Nobody believed. One woman said to me, "You're so manly. How could you be that woman? She has a womanly figure." You know, it's called theater.
All right, so you guys listen up. You can listen to the Jimmy Star Show. We're going to bring our guests on now in 1 second. But you can hear us every week. We're on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and iTunes. I don't know. I guess they're like the same but different. Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, and SoundCloud. We're on a bunch of other platforms too, but those are like the main ones that everybody knows. And we're going to have a great show for you guys today. We're going to start to bring in our guests. And one of them is Angelo. There's Angelo, and here's Jumpin' Gennaro. Is that how we pronounce it, Gennaro?
And in Italian, in Di Napoli, it's Gennaro, but it's Jumpin' Gennaro to everybody else.
Jumpin' Gennaro. All right. And Angelo, what's your last name?
It's pronounced Accetta.
Accetta. Okay.
You know what accetta is?
Yeah,
No.
axe.
No, accetta is vinegar.
No, accetta, well, in translation for Italian, accetta means axe, but it also means to accept, as in accept a letter or a gift. Accetta.
But accia, maybe
Accita.
is
right. Yes.
right, that's vinegar. Good.
I love
I'm
it. So
glad.
let me,
Where's the rest of them?
there's only one more, I think, coming, but he's not here yet.
I love
so.
you guys. You Goombas.
So you guys
You're my Goombas.
So everybody knows these are two of the guys from the Wise Guyz Show. Ron was on their show.
Look how handsome Italian men are.
I know. Ron
Look
was
at
on their
us.
show
Look
last
at
week.
us. We're drop dead good looking guineas.
I want to give you guys a compliment too. It's one of you guys. I guess it's jumping. I don't know. You have static in the background. I don't know why that is. Why is that?
You're hearing static on my end? Let me get a little bit closer. Hold on a minute.
It could be the air condition.
No, it's off. The air condition is off. Is anything else? Any backup? You still hear something?
It's a little bit better. I think she'll probably turn you on and off as you're going along and when you're not talking, just to make sure.
Well,
I don't hear jack shit.
That's okay. You don't have to hear it.
I don't
So
hear
anyway-
anything.
So
And if he moves any closer, the women in the audience are going to have heart attacks. And they'll be throwing their panties at their TV monitors.
So I just so you know, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have a headphone that you can like throw?
There's
Like a
the
little
other
one?
one.
Oh, there's Freddie.
There's the other one. My boys are here. My Joyce.
If Jumpin' Gennaro, if you have a headset you can plug into your computer, it'll make that go away.
Hey, I couldn't hear you guys, but look, I forgot to plug it in.
Well, that's why your wife is not so happy.
So hold on. So first of all, before I introduce you guys, I want to give you like a big compliment, and the compliment is, so Ron goes on these shows like all the time. I'm not kidding you, like all the time. Everybody always wants him to go on the shows, and he doesn't really like doing it. and I told him he was going to be on
Wait,
this.
let me explain better. They're assholes. They're nobody jerk-offs that decided they're going to be talk show hosts. I have interviewed over 4,000 people in my career. I have been on the air 25 years interviewing, and it's still difficult. How the fuck do you think that by Wednesday you could be a talk show host that's interesting? They all stink. I wind up taking over the show. I give them a great show. And and they're not even nice about it, writing about it. You guys are fabulous.
Wait a second. So I'm
you
prejudiced. Interrupted my story though.
Because you're a fucking boy.
I know. I'm going to talk. So this is my story. So he got off because I had to beg him. He's like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It was 1 minute before. I was like, they're going to call your phone. You got to do it. You're going to have a good time.
I said, what am I going to do with 4 wops from New Jersey?
Okay. So anyway, he got off the phone and he came in and he said, that's like the funnest show that I have been on out of the hundreds of shows that I've been on. That's like the funnest one. I had a blast. And
I then said, invite them on our show.
And now here you are. So it's a very big compliment because he never likes anybody's show.
Well, no. Also, I'm a very prejudiced person. I love my own. No, I love my own kind. Doesn't everybody?
Absolutely.
I mean, they talk about America intermixing bullshit. You go to New Jersey, there's the black section, the Hispanic section, the Italian section, the German section. Same thing in New York. Nobody's moving into the neighborhoods. You cannot go to Mill Basin and be black. They'll shoot you.
They'll never look back and realize the Israelis and the Muslims still haven't gotten along all these years. That's the perfect.
No, but seriously, we are not. We have neighborhood in California. We have Istanbul neighborhood, Chinatown neighborhood. We got every fucking country neighborhood here, but nobody's intermixing. Everybody's racially incorrect.
So
everybody's prejudiced. This bullshit about America loves everybody. That's a crock of shit. I have been in many Italian homes, and I won't even repeat what they say. I've been in Jewish homes, and I won't repeat what they say. Yet on Facebook and out, I love everybody. Everybody's equal. Bullshit.
Anyway, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. These are 3 of the hosts from the Wise Guyz Show. They're super fun, they're super talented, and they're Italian. We've got Angelo Jumpin' Gennaro and Freddie the Fireman Tenor. How do you pronounce your last name, Freddie?
Tenor,
there we go. So we want to welcome you guys to the show. You already know my outrageous co-host, Ron Russell. We got a chat room full of people, so say hi to everybody in the chat room.
How are you?
Hey,
hello, everyone. How we doing?
You know what I like the most about you guys is, and I hope I'm correct in what I'm going to say, that you're not homophobic. So you're nice to me, and I'm gay, and you're not homophobic. Don't be afraid that if ever I'm in your company, I'm going to try to grab your dick, because I don't do that. It's most straight men's fantasy. You know that. A lot of straight men say to me, I'm not gay, so don't grab my dick. And I said, the thought never occurred to me, but it has occurred to you. So possibly you really want me to grab your dick.
Nah.
Because you're a closet case faggot.
No, once in a while, can you hear me? I just want to make sure, because once in a while we grab our own, but that's because
that's about it.
That's what good friends do. No, good friends do that. They play hide the sausage and have fun.
Yeah, we play hide the salami.
Hide the salami.
There
right.
you go.
The sausage is too little. I agree. We're Italian.
So how about with one of you guys, because I went on your Facebook page and looked, and you guys went to MobCon, and we know a whole bunch of those people from MobCon. We've had them on the show, or I've dressed a bunch of them as a celebrity clothing designer.
Here we
back
go
in
with
the day.
that celebrity clothing designer.
So one of you, I don't care who, tell us a little bit about the Wise Guyz Show, so we can actually pump it up for some publicity for people to go listen to it.
Well, I could just real quick let me say, because I've been there the longest. We're actually a spinoff of the original Wise Guyz Show.
Hang on, who's talking?
Yeah.
I'm in
the background.
I'm in a cafe over here.
Well, tell them to shut the fuck
Fred.
up.
You got something to get the fuck out. Oh, excuse my language.
No, tell them.
No, you can say fuck all you want.
Listen, tell them
I'm gonna
to
take a
shut up.
fucking walk.
No, listen to me. Tell them to shut up. I know people in Brooklyn.
Go ahead, Fred.
Can you hear me, though? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now, who's that fucking big mouth?
Yeah.
Somebody in the cafe.
I'll just show
walk, bro. Stick him in the fucking bathroom.
Get that cocksucker over here. I want to straighten him out.
Yeah.
But we're actually spin-off of the original Wise Guyz Show from Sirius XM. We knew all of them. We're friends with a lot of them. Some of them passed. Cha-Cha John Garcia, who I named because he was the one who gave us the okay to give it a shot because he loved the show so much.
Give us the baton.
Yeah, and then we started it in someone's garage in 2011 or 2009, and it didn't do too well, and then it ended. And we brought it back in 2014, and we've been going ever since. But names, people have changed, just like any other show. But we're just growing. And
let me tell you something. I have a lot of friends on Long Island and Brooklyn. I mentioned this show because I was excited about it. My friend John Vecchio says they're on my Facebook page, or he's heard you on the radio, if I'm not incorrect. Also, a lot of my Brooklyn friends know of you.
Yes.
So it seems that your name is out among all the Guido Italians. They love you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I promote you. I always say you have to listen to this show. It's a good show. These guys are wild.
So I'm going to just comment on that. And Jimmy Starr, Ron Russell, thank you again for having us on your show. Just so you know, I'm a very strong, hardworking, proud American, Italian American. I took break from work just to come to home and make sure there was no sound in the background, no interruption, for respect.
Yeah, way to go, Freddie.
Listen to me. Are you married? Are you married?
Me? Yes. I got two wonderful kids.
Well, I got two wonderful daughters. I could have pushed one on you if you were single.
Well, if you have a good looking granddaughter for my son, 21, she's got to be, I'm sure, respectful. Most importantly, we hold our old values, old school. I instill that in not only my son and my daughter. It's very crucial. All the mumbo jumbo that goes on in the world, I give them the old school, and
I gave my daughters the same upbringing. Now listen, maybe you got somebody for my daughter Leslie. Leslie was first runner-up in Miss America. She was Power's #1 top model. She looks like Grace Kelly. She's a beautiful, well-mannered, clean-cut girl. She doesn't fuck around. She cooks, cleans, and she's totally Italian. She speaks Italian, reads and writes Italian. And she was raised with my the old-fashioned values.
How old is
where the hell was she 7 years ago, man?
Well, I'm not going to say her age because then you're going to think she's a wretched bitch. But she's 51 and gorgeous. She looks.
So she's really 41, is what you're saying.
Does she like 33-year-olds?
No, you're probably too young.
No. Leslie,
my wife's in the other room.
No, Leslie grew up in my world. So Leslie has dated a lot of famous movie actors, and she didn't like the movie guys. She said, I don't want to go out with a mirror, where they were in a mirror all the time. And Leslie is looking for a nice Italian guy. She was going out with Joe Diarchi, who is from Florida, and they got engaged, and they were going to get married. And then at the last minute, he backed out because he's afraid of marriage. So my daughter said, I want a man, not a mouse. Goodbye. Leslie is intelligent. Now, my daughter Deirdre, on the other hand, is a gorgeous, red-headed, blue-eyed broad that you don't want to hassle.
She's
with.
a firecracker.
Redhead.
She's a Lucille Ball.
She's 46 years old.
She's a Lucille Ball.
No, she's worse. She's 46. She's 46 or 45 years old. She's 6 foot high, redhead, gorgeous. But she will put you in your place in 2 seconds. You can't play with her. Don't grab her.
Sounds like my wife and my daughter.
No, you talk. Listen, my daughter went out with a nice guy. First date, they went to a bar, right? She's sitting there, and he looks down at her feet. She had high heels on with straps. He said, "Oh, I can't wait to lick your feet." So my daughter looked, and she said, "No, go home and lick your mother's feet." And she walked out.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, Angelo, go.
I just want to you guys talking about daughters and whatnot. My daughter, she just turned a year last month, and I just want to show you how beautiful she is.
Oh,
she's my first
congratulations! Congratulations! She's
Thank you.
showing you his 1-year-old daughter. He just turned 1. His daughter.
My wife's getting
so
already,
lucky.
of course.
You're so lucky. I want
Thank you.
son-in-laws.
But you guys are talking about, of the upbringing and stuff like that. I'm a first generation Italian American. Both my parents were born in Italy. So I'm going to raise her the same way they raised me. And here she comes. Vieni qua, papa. Vieni qua, papa.
Vinny croix papa's neck.
What's that mean?
Come over here, sweetheart.
Oh my gosh!
Look at
how
her.
adorable
Oh, if
she
she is not a wop. Look at that guinea face. I love it. She's
Ciao, Papa,
beautiful.
become a
You look
Melania.
like such a beautiful Italian girl. Look at you. You got the face of Italy, the map of Italy.
Oh my gosh, she's adorable.
All Italians are beautiful, Jimmy. Why did you pick me? You know, very few ugly Italians, if you notice. Other races have a lot of ugly people, but Italian men especially are very handsome.
We're Romans. We're Romans. The statues were sculpted after us.
It's true. It's true. But French men are little petite little things. They're not so hot. Irish people, they tend to have bad teeth. English people have bad teeth.
Well, the French, is that because why the French say oui, oui?
Yeah, they're little. They say oui, oui.
We say in Naples we say bastone.
Right.
Bastone.
And in Genovese we say Mobelin.
So wait, how did you guys actually know each other to be on the podcast? Since Freddie, you started out first. How did you meet them to come on the podcast?
Well, I told you a lot of faces have changed throughout the years, and when a few had left the show, I grew up with Mike, and I thought of nobody better to ask to replace one of the guys that had left. It was Mike. When we grew up, Mike was the kind of guy that if you were in the car listening to him talk, and you were driving, you would have to pull over. If not, you'd end up crashing into a brick wall laughing so hard because of something he said. So, and he's from the old neighborhood, so it was a perfect fit.
Just to give you a
guys, Mike is jumping, so you know, you guys.
Wait, now you're the fireman, right?
Yes, 25 years.
So what's it like being a fireman? That's like a scary job.
Well, I worked in Newark for 25 years. It's just like any other job. It's you had your bumps and bruises along the way, a lot of crazy stuff. But I survived and retired.
Listen.
So he's retired now.
If the mayor or the governor's house in New York goes on fire, don't go.
I'm in New Jersey, Newark.
Yeah,
We ain't gonna get there. Fuck.
Tell the New York.
Fuck that guy, Angela said.
What did he say?
Angela said, fuck that guy.
No, really.
So just to give you a little idea of our neighborhood, Freddie and I grew up, and even though I was in Belleville, he was Newark and Belleville. We kind of grew up right on the borderline of Newark and Belleville, where the greats, Frankie Valli was right across the way, Joe Pesci,
Frank Sinatra.
Sinatra came to the neighborhood.
He used to buy bread from one of our bakeries.
Yeah, but we were literally in Silver Lake area. What other legends? All of the Jersey Boys, they grew up right in our neighborhood. The musical that happened literally like where we grew up.
Yeah,
and so culturally, we were the next generation from that previous generation of the same old school upbringing, and Freddie.
I'm sorry, go.
Yeah, Freddie and I were pretty much the last of the Mohegan. There's another generation there still,
but nothing like ours.
Maybe
nothing like ours.
Maybe you know what I'm going to talk about. There was a bar in that part of your town. I don't remember the name, but the girl that ran it was the daughter
Roxy's.
And she was gorgeous.
Roxy's?
Roxy's?
Probably, maybe. I used to meet a lot of my unsavory friends, shall we say, there. Fabulous. She was the most beautiful girl in the world. Really, now you know who I'm talking about. It was on a main road, a main street somewhere.
Wait a minute. You're not thinking? No, you're saying
it was a mafia hangout.
Yeah, but I was saying
the Vesuvius.
I'm not going to remember. Yeah, well,
she was a young girl, and her father owned the bar. He was a big shot in the mob, and she was just a beautiful girl, sweet. This was about maybe 20 years ago when I went there.
Oh, 20 years ago. I thought you were talking about 40 years ago because Roxy's was the place.
It wasn't 20 years ago. It was 40 years ago. He didn't know what he's talking about.
Maybe it was 40 years ago.
Well, the legendary place was called Roxy's. That was also right near the park, Cherry Blossom Park.
Right.
And Roxy was the place where everybody went to. It was a
hangout.
Italian.
But the barmaid was a beautiful girl.
They're not old enough to know 40 years ago.
Well, listen, there's a lot. There's actually a lot of
bars.
There's a lot of places. There's a lot of places.
There was Vesuvius restaurant bar.
I used to go there with my friends. They know
Belmont. There was the
40.
Belmont that had a bar, famous bar, and it was food place, but it also had a famous bar where everybody went to drink. So
Also, we used to go in a friend's limo, and he never parked. He double parked, and all the cars were double parked in the front of this bar. And I said, "You don't get tickets?" And she said, "No, we pay."
He's not talking about the Belmont. The Belmont was a Belmont Tavern? No.
I don't remember.
It's funny, but Angelo was not even alive 40 years ago because he
Jimmy,
said
I
he's
don't,
33.
Jimmy, I don't think it was 40 years ago. I was living in where the fuck was I living? In New York City, in Manhattan.
Do you remember anything specifically of the interior of the place?
Yeah, you
Anything?
walk in, the bar was to the right. It was a long bar and it looked like a bar, like an old-fashioned bar, like it had been there years
Was
and
a lot
years.
of pictures of movie stars and
I would have noticed that, but
Yeah.
I don't remember. I went there and this girl was just so beautiful. I was having a crush on her, you know.
hey, welcome. This is the Sicilian Sleeper, by the way.
Hey, Sicilian sleeper.
Are you the big mouth
How
that's
you
ruining
doing?
our
How
show?
are you?
Good. How are you?
Are you the big mouth ruining our show?
No.
Yeah, no. He went to
Barista.
a sleep apnea doctor.
Okay, listen.
Now he's
All right,
better now.
buonanotte, Wayo. Say buonanotte. Hey guys, hold on, Ron and Jimmy. Before you guys, I just want to mention something. So in Hoboken, I live actually right next door to where Sinatra was born. As you can see, the
That's
plaque on the
where
wall
it
right
was.
here.
I think it was in Hoboken,
Oh,
maybe.
Yep, that's the
Oh,
plaque
that's
on the
cool.
wall.
Look at that. That's the plaque on the wall for Frank Sinatra's house next door to him.
Yeah, my wife was born and raised right here next to where he was born. So the first night I walked her home and I saw that plaque, I was like, I gotta fucking marry you, and that was it.
You know, I never met Frank Sinatra. Living in Palm Springs, you think I would because he loved it here. But I did know Jane Russell. She was my best friend for many years. And she was also Frank Sinatra's best friend. And she used to tell me stories about Frank. And the one, I said, what was Ava Gardner like? And she said she was a nut. She really drove Frank crazy. I said, well, you know, he was not exactly a walk in the park. He was banging everything that walked. And she said, so was Ava. And that was the problem with their marriage. They both liked running around, partying and drinking. And that's how come they divorced. But did you know he kept her for the rest of her life? He supported her till she died.
Oh,
Because she hadn't any money. He never got over Ava Gardner. Frank Sinatra just loved her with all his heart and soul.
So, go ahead.
I know the greatest stories of all about Sinatra when he was hanging out in Vegas, and then he would just jump in a plane and go to Italy with his boys with the Rat Pack. Just that's try to duplicate that now. That's living life, you know.
Well, now you have to wear a mask and show proof.
They had their private plane, you know, the private jet.
No, Jimmy and I flew to New York a while. That's why I caught the bronchitis I have. And we had to sit with masks on in the plane. And I said to him, this is so fucking stupid. You know, let people have a choice. If they want to die, let them die. If they want to take a shot, take a shot. So every now and then I took the mask off until when I saw the stewardess, or what do they call them now? Not stewardess.
Flight attendant
whores. I say,
Attendant whores.
I take my mask off a little bit and I breathe. I mean, how could you? I was ready to eat the nuts they gave us and the bottle of water, which was so generous.
Yeah.
I remember flying years ago. We had a tray with steak, potato, a vegetable, a cocktail, coffee, and a dessert. And I flew cross country for $250 round trip.
You're talking about when it was Alitalia. It was really Alitalia?
No, I flew Pan American all the time.
Pan Am, yeah. That's when they really treated you well, back in the day.
Pan Am was a fabulous airline.
Yeah, it was.
Nowadays, it's a nightmare. I mean, Jimmy and I were fighting our whole trip across. You know, I just had the open heart surgery. I needed a wheelchair. They never brought me a wheelchair.
Wow.
The flight left without us, the connecting flight. We had to get in fuck it. It was just a nightmare. Traveling today stinks. It's not chic or wonderful anymore. You know.
So where you're in California right now?
Yeah,
exactly where?
Palm
Springs.
Palm Springs.
So there's not too far from where I live. It's actually it's probably about 15 minutes from here. I was just at a party celebration dinner for my daughter's lacrosse team. And this gentleman comes out. He's the owner of the place. We were outside, and there's some Sinatra music going on, and I just started singing along with it. And he calls me over. He says, "I'm going to tell you a great story about Sinatra." And so I said, "Wow, I'm always interested in a great Sinatra story." He goes, he says, "I was his cook," and it was in Palm Springs. He says, I was his cook for almost a decade. He said, "I was his personal chef." And then he takes me out inside. Freddie, did I tell you about this? Did I tell you? No, I don't. Okay. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I mentioned, because I said we got to go visit this guy and get, visit his restaurant, do a plug for his restaurant, have some dinner, and I'm sure he's got a lot more great stories to tell. But I think Bobby Ches told us a great story about Sinatra when he knew that he had made his mark as a 3-time world champion, when Sinatra called him to the backstage and recognized him and called him out. So always love a great Sinatra story.
Oh shit! Freddie's in the bathroom.
No, I went in the other room because they were it's a cafe and there was nobody there at the time, but people start walking in.
By the way, we were talking about the Vesuvius.
Did I lose you?
Oh, I knew Vesuvius. I used to go there all the time. I love Vesuvius.
Well, he's literally like a half a block away from there. That cafe intermezzo.
Is Vesuvius still there? I thought it went out of business.
It went out of business.
Hey, guys,
it was taken over.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
They had good food in Vesuvius.
Okay, Freddie.
They had very good food, and he actually was taken over by the Gincarelli family, family from Calabria. They make what is it, $6 pizza, Freddie? $7 pizza now. They're
we paid 21 bucks.
$6.
Well, they're legendary for the $6 or $7 pie, and they're still there. And the father, he actually used to cook for the previous owners back in the day of the Vesuvius. And my understanding is, talking about the Vesuvius, that's where De Niro met Pesci at some kind of a gathering and observed and was watching him, sitting at the table. And that was the time, my understanding is, where he actually met Pesci for the first time, and then eventually wanted him to play his brother in The Raging Bull. That's where supposedly
there was also a Vesuvio in Florida. You know that?
I would imagine.
Oh no, where everybody hung out.
Well,
I used to go to that one also. That closed. And I think the people that owned the Vesuvius up north also owned the one down there. Did you ever go to Florida to the restaurant? Did you ever go to Cadillac, Johnny Cadillac's place? Airport.
Freddie has.
With all the mussels, they give you all the mussels for free.
Yeah, I traveled all over.
I love Johnny's Airport.
No, I don't remember there.
Oh, perfect.
What was it called? 59 Airport something?
Oh, yeah. Runway.
Runway 59, and it looked like an airplane. And Johnny Cadillac used to be there. He died now.
Well, we talked about when you come to the Jersey coast again, we'll take you to places out here that you're going to say, you know what, this reminds me of my, family's table. I mean, that's the way we.
You know what? I go to Brooklyn. All my friends live in Mill Basin, and there are so many. Listen, one night they did a joke. I loved it. They got a panel truck, no windows. They put a sofa in it. They got a gang of. I was married at the time. My wife and I and a bunch of people got in the truck. We didn't know where we were going. They took us to Coney Island. In Coney Island, there was this dumpy restaurant where the old man and the old lady were cooking. They were 100 years old. And he used to say, "Maladetta putana," and she said, "Mavafanculo." And they would fight back and forth. Well, we went in the back room. Now, everybody's drinking, and there was a picture of Mona Lisa on the wall. One of my friends made a hole in the mat and stuck a cigarette. Now, we look at the flies that were all stuck to the mirror, and we're starting to throw up. So we ordered the food. The food was out of this world. In those days, the bill was like $350. So we left the $350 tip because we destroyed the back room. We started throwing food at each other. I mean, my daughter was a kid. She loved it. We had a lot of fun with our friends in Brooklyn, and I love them so much, and I miss them so much, because
So basically, that's a big part of our show, and it's great that you just pointed that out. Is that we bring back those stories from your neighborhood, from our neighborhood, from Long Island. We all had the same stories growing up, and those are the stories that people miss. But we have this energy, and we bring people together. There's so many people out there that are just negative and they're trying to cause division and destruction. We are called the Wise Guyz Show, but we are an entertainment platform. But we're about bringing our energy in and bringing people together.
Let me tell you something. When I'm with you guys, I feel at home. I go to homes of movie stars and mansions. I'm not bragging. I'm telling a story.
Right.
I mean, places that people wish they could go to. I have a nice time. But when I go to the apartments or the houses in Florida and Brooklyn of my friends, and we sit down and the food starts to come out and the conversations and the laughing, and then after the dessert and then the cards come out, I am the happiest camper there is in earth.
You're home.
You never forget what you grew up with.
Exactly. You're home.
You never do.
You're home. And that's another thing we remind people of.
Well, that's why I love you guys, because like even right now, I feel so close to you. I feel like I could trust you, whereas out here, you don't trust anybody. They're all full of shit.
He's right. No, he's right about that.
No, I mean, I feel like if I was in that room now with you and I had a problem, I would tell you, but I won't tell anybody out here.
Now, do you have at least a neighbor or one or two neighbors that will come over with a bottle of wine?
I'll do it in Italian. Son tutti americani.
Sono tutti americani, I capisci. Sono tutti americani.
Ha capito?
Yes.
Non sono come nostro.
See.
So wait, Angela, how did you get involved then? So those two grew up and knew each other. By looking at you, I'm going to say you look like you're a little bit younger than they are. So
another handsome.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's my story with the Wise Guyz Show. Actually, our other co-host Biagio, I was out with my wife at San Gennaro Feast in New York City, and we were sitting at a dinner table, and Biagio was sitting at a table next to us, and I guess he overheard me speaking Italian, and he's like, "Wow, you speak very well." He's like, "How old are you?" And I told him my age, and he just we just hit it off from that night, and then he invited me as a guest on the show about a year and a half ago. And then after I was a guest on the show, Freddie and Mike called me up, and they're like, "Listen, we love you. We love you love our culture, and you want to carry on traditions, and you speak Italian and just everything." And they asked if I could be a co-host on the show, and of course I said absolutely, because that's what it's all about. And
well, first of all, you have to you got to get everybody's approval. So Freddie said, "What do you think?" I said,
"Oh yeah, that too." Yeah,
he was in, and I said, "I know Angelo's family." For many years, I serviced his father's. I'm also in the auto business. I serviced his father's car over 20 some odd years ago, and I knew his. And ironically, when I got married, a very big coincidence. I don't think it's coincidence; it's destined. But my mother-in-law is from Altamura, and there's a lot of people that are from Malpatese in Hoboken, Altamura, and they would go to his dad travel agency in Hoboken. So when I wanted something special, I didn't want to go to Hawaii, and if I went to Italy, I have to spend time with my family, which I would love to do, but I want to do something different. So I wanted to go to Greece. And so I went to his father and I said, Rafael, I said, I want to go to Greece, but I have friends of mine from Greece said, yeah, Mykonos is nice. Yeah, Crete is nice. But if you really want to see Greece, you got to go to Thessaloniki. So I'm going to his father and I'm saying these names, Halkidiki, Thessaloniki. And his father's spinning. He goes, look, Mike, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in touch with the Greek tourist board, he says, and then I'm going to find something for you. Well, not only did he hook us up with $6,000, we saw the world. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the best places. And they refused to take a tip. You go to the airport, the cab driver, the limo driver, nobody wanted to take money. So it was all incorporated. So I know his family for a very long time, and I said that's an easy deal. He's a younger guy. He's inspired culturally, and I knew he would bring something great to the show. So,
how often is the show? Like for people who want to know how they see it, when is it a weekly thing, a daily thing? When is
go
the
ahead,
show?
Freddie. Do some talking.
It's a bi-weekly show. We were doing it every week, but we did it bi-weekly because we found to find more information to talk about on each show. But now we're even considered doing it once a month because we have a couple things we're working on in Atlantic City that we may be having to do it once a month for a casino.
Can I give you a suggestion? Why don't you guys take it out of the studio and film New Jersey? Everybody would love to see what you're talking about because I do that. On my other TV show that I had years ago, I would I'd interview the movie star and then take the camera out and give the people a feeling of what the fuck I'm talking about.
It's amazing.
That's what we do, kind of. We're going to Mob Movie Con, going to Celebrity Boxing. I mean, that's all in New Jersey.
You should have footage right now of Hoboken because it's changed. Hoboken used to be a slum years ago. Remember when it was poor?
We do that.
Now it's regentrified itself. Hoboken. You can't afford to buy a fucking house in Hoboken.
And years ago, they were giving it away.
That's right.
Well, hey, Ron,
I'm going to say this to you.
Hold on, Mike. I'll spare. My father, me and my wife, we live in the building that my father-in-law owns, and we're actually looking to sell it for $3.5 million. You want to come over and buy it?
No. You know what, boys? I'm not a Californian. I never was. I never will be. The reason why the people out here like me is because I'm a Brooklyn guy. I tell it like it is, no smoke up your ass, and they appreciate that because out here they're all phonies. They're all full of shit. They're all actors and actresses and delusional people. And I'm the only one that really is real. When they come to my house, I cook, we sit down at the table, we eat, we play. They love that because they never had it. I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, got into
buying his $3.5 million house apartment.
Yeah. If I could, if I could, I would move to the Hamptons on Long Island in a minute.
Okay.
I'm a Long Island boy because I did live there most of my life, my adult life. And I love Long Island. I love it.
So go back to Jumpin'. Jumpin', you were going to say something before.
Anyway, if I were going to spend $3.5 million, it would be in the Hamptons.
Well, Ron, again, you tapped on something that we've been talking about for a while. Freddie and I have been talking about. By the way, if you look at our opening, when you go to the Wise Guyz Show recording of the page, if you see the show that we interviewed you with, Ron, the opening is actually our old neighborhood.
That guy's big mouth. Hey, you in the green shirt.
No, that's not him. It's the whole.
No, I know that, but you in the green shirt, go knock that guy in the face that's making all that noise.
Actually, what's ironic is he is the Sicilian sleeper because he usually is nodding in the back on the chair.
Yeah, well, tell him to wake up and smack that guy around. Shut him up.
Tell him to go to sleep. No, not to wake up. But we went anywhere that we go. People now not only they recognize us, they embrace us, and they want to meet us. So one of the ideas we've been talking about is doing meet and greets in different cities. We're going to be in Philadelphia in September. The Wise Guyz Show is now being hired to host different performances. We got the Uncle Louie Variety Show. These are two big guys, great hearts in Syracuse, New York. They do a lot of social media comedy, and they do touring in comedy. We're going to open up with them and Biagio, who's one of the Wise Guyz Show guys, and he's a singer, so he's going to be singing on that show. When we go to Philly, there's going to be people waiting to meet with us. When we were down in Atlantic City for Mob Movie Con and Soprano Con, people already were coming to us. So we're going to different locations.
It's starting to happen.
Yeah,
listen, do you know my friend Soho Johnny?
Yes, we do. He's been on a show. Absolutely.
Johnny. I have to see that show. Johnny, excuse me for coughing. Johnny's like me. Johnny will tell it like it is, and he don't give a shit because he owns half of New York City. He owns all of Soho.
Not all of it. But.
Well, he owns a chunk of it. Like, he could buy and sell everybody we know. and he's a cool guy. You know what he did? Listen to this. I'm having my birthday party out in Long Island, way out on Long Island. Soho lives in Jersey.
No, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Soho and Nino, his best friend, drove all that way.
Uncle Nino.
2.5 hours to come see me to wish me a happy birthday. And what'd they bring me? You wouldn't believe. Pasta chota, cannoli. I was killing myself. I was going to have a diabetic overdose. I mean, I haven't seen pastries like that in years, but they brought me a box so big. Delicious, and he got those in, I think, New Jersey on their drive down.
Well, our family has aroma di Napoli, which is basically flavorings from Naples, and that's also in my family. So, like I said, you come here, you're going to get spoiled. We'll take you.
I'm going to get fat.
Well, you're going to get fat too.
That's a lot of bullshit, you know. I eat a lot of like last night. You know what I made for dinner? Spaghettini in sun-dried tomatoes.
What's important is you can eat it. You just got to burn it up. You got to go walking afterwards.
You got to watch. You got to
walk. The bread and
fuck that shit, man. I just see no exercise. That's the truth down right there.
I agree with you. The bread and the cake or the desserts after, and then you fall asleep.
You got to stay in shape sometime, a little bit though, because firemen used to always have to stay in shape for their job. But I became accustomed to it because now I still hang out in the neighborhood, even though I'm 50-something, 52. I'm going to be 52. You still got to protect yourself.
That's right.
I'm 81 years old, and I'm only 15 pounds up from what I was 20 years ago. So I maintain a good diet because I'm not ready to kick the bucket yet.
What's the place now? Have you been going out? Have you been cooking at home? Have you been going out more?
Well, I don't go out. I don't go to
when you were going out before all this madness.
No, I don't.
He hates going out.
Listen, when they cook a pasta, they use motor oil, okay? They don't use 100% olive oil virgin like I do. They don't use the mushrooms I use. They use shit. I have a friend of mine. She's a
You go mushroom picking?
No, wait. My friend Perry Winkler.
No.
Wait, listen to my story. My friend Perry Winkler, nice Jewish woman, rich as bitch. She'll be 100 years old in 2 weeks, okay? Years ago, we went to a restaurant in Florida. She said, Ronald, darling, you're going to faint. The food is to die for. It is the most delicious Italian food I've ever eaten. I don't go to Italian restaurants because you could puke. Anyway, I went to satisfy her. The sauce burned. It tasted like shit. And I took her outside where the garbage was. And I said, see, Perry, that 50-gallon can, tomatoes were in there. They make that shit and they buy it in 50-gallon cans. And she was carrying on. I said, you think it was better than mine? I wanted to punch her right in her face. No, she did say, Ronald, yours tastes different. I said, different, like better than the fucking canned good, that shit that they serve you?
You mean the real stuff?
Well,
That's it. Come here.
And $21 for a fucking plate of spaghetti? What are you, nuts?
Get the fungal.
What I really wanted to know, okay, maybe not to go out and eat, the way you're going to eat like home. That's never going to happen. We all cook here. We all cook at home as well. What I'm saying, where's a place that in your neighborhood, you say, that is a popular place that people will go to. That's really what I wanted to know.
If you go to
in California, there's no fucking popular places.
If you go to Beverly Hills, there's an Italian restaurant there that does a very decent pasta because the guy's from Italy, from Milano, and he's the number one chef in the fucking world over the bullshit. If you don't mind paying $44 for spaghetti.
And what's the name of the place?
Robert Wagner, Natalie Wood always went there. On Thursday nights, they bought the table.
You used to go there.
I used to go there all the time.
He doesn't remember.
I do remember. It was started with an F.
It'll come back to him.
It'll come back to me. But anyway, yeah.
Pasta fagioli?
No. I had a fancy schmancy name.
So hold on, going back to you
Very
guys.
famous restaurant, but the
we've-
chef was good.
We have like 10 minutes left, and I want to make sure I get stuff in. So how do people see your show? Where do they need to go to see your show?
All right. Well, let me tell you, you got to come to our Facebook group page to see everything we do, or go to our YouTube page and see everything we do. We have both pages. We push the Facebook group page, the Wise Guyz Show, because that's where we do our show from. We're syndicated on 9 other internet radio networks, ItalianAmericanRadio.com. You can go there. 920 WON, the Apple, Dream Stream Radio, TuneIn. We're on. But if you go to our page, you see everything we do. And I'm telling you, we're on a spiral. I mean, we're going up a hill with new members every day. The last 2 days, I mean, like I said, we're not Howard Stern, but we're getting 20 members a day, and that builds up. And
just be sure your guests are interesting. If they don't talk and they haven't got what to say, don't even have them on, because your show is about talking. I want to make one quick story, because he mentioned something about his Italian wasn't good. My first movie I ever made was That Kind of Woman with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. Now, extras are not allowed to talk to the stars, but I don't give a shit. That's Sophia Loren. Fuck all of you. So I walked over to Sophia and I sat down in George Sanders' chair and I began speaking Italian to her. So she said back to me in English, she said, "Your Italian is as bad as my English."
That's a
And
great story.
she was gorgeous and sweet. And a guy came over and he said, "Hey," because I was a soldier. He said, "Hey, soldier, back to where you're supposed to be." And she said, "Oh, no." She said, "Let him sit here. He's very nice." And then we shot in Central Park, and then we shot in Grand Central Station. And when the shoot was over, I said, "Sofia, ero qua una grande piacere. Tu sei molto bellissima e bella, la più bella donna in tutto il mondo." And she said, "Oh, grazie, Rolando. So you're molto kind." Or she called me Rolando. That's my real name. And she was just lovely, beautiful, wonderful, Italian, nice.
Well, I'm going to just say this.
Heart.
No disrespect. For me, Italy is the entire boot and the soccer ball, Sicilia. But what makes Italy the heartbeat
Oh, that was good.
is Napoli. And we're Napolitan. Naples is the heart of Italy. End of story.
Well, my grandfather was Napolitan.
And that's where Sophia Loren and this.
Well, she came from outside of Naples.
I don't know if you know this story. She was
She's from
interviewed.
Campania too, Mike.
She was Campania. She was in an interview.
She was from Pizzoli. Pizzoli. She was from.
She was in an interview, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a good maybe 15, maybe even possible. No, it was about 20 years ago. And in this interview, he asked Sophia Loren, "So, are you very proud to be Italian?"
She said, "No,
And
I'm
she said-
Napolitan."
She said, "You remember this?" She says,
Absolutely.
"I am not Italian. I am Neapolitan."
That's right. That's right. Well, the same thing with Sicilians. If you say, "Are you Italian?" they say, "No, sono Siciliano."
Not all of them, but the hardcore, yes.
They all say they're Sicilian. Now, my father was from Genoa. My mother was from Venezia, and my grandfather was da Napoli. So I'm a good blend of Italy, north and middle.
Yeah.
I look Napolitan.
No bogey tutto goes.
Yeah,
No
when
bogey
you,
tutto goes.
if you saw me young with black hair, and I'm dark and black.
You understand what I said? That's very
I'm sorry,
Neapolitan.
I didn't hear you. Say it again.
This is very Neapolitan. No bogey e tutto goes. A little of everything there.
A little of everything.
I know Napolitan. Sfacime de puttana.
Yeah, make sure you don't leave. Make sure we don't close off until we do a not so, by the way, just so you know.
I love you guys. It's such fun being with you. You make my day, because out here they're all, white and blonde.
Hey, Ron.
What?
You want to hear another curse word you can learn? That's a good one. Say, a festa de mamma.
No, mamma mia. No.
That's la faccia de mamma. No festa.
Napoli is festa.
Yeah, but
He's
you
right.
know what una festa is, the pussy.
Yeah. Beso de mama, not
Well,
faccia.
Yeah, baby.
you know, that's not nice.
You
saying
guys, it's not good to say that shit if you don't tell us what it actually means.
Well,
so
to
Ansel,
say your
tell us what
mother's
it means.
pussy is not nice. But you could say la faccia di mama.
Well, you know,
Just like
there's
they say-
Facebook, right? You know, there's Facebook, right?
Yes.
And there's also Facebook.
Possible.
Wait, people. I mean, so many of my friends say, bafangul. No, it's not bafangul. It's vai fare in culo, which means go stick it up your ass.
Farangul.
No, actually, if you're all the way in the north, all in the where, it's vade fadel Q. If you're in Milan. But anyway,
No, in where my father came from, all the people say Mobelin. Mobelin is my dick. And it was not looked upon as vulgar or dirty. And I stayed in Italy for a year with my grandmother, and my cousin took me to meet his girlfriend, told me not to tell my other cousin he was married to. And I said, okay. So we go meet the cousin, and I said to him, Pierluigi, keep your mouth shut. I'm going to play a joke. So this broad is there, and I pretended I couldn't speak Italian. I said, scusa mia, no parlare italiano. And then she looked at me and she starts rambling in Italian. And then I turned around and I said, Brutta Madonna, puttana, succida della tutta la strada. And I went off and I used all the Genovese filthy words. Vafanku. I mean, everything I said. And she went hysterical.
I thought you were gonna continue with ganaki instead of gnocchi.
Oh, I love
Biscotti
that
instead of spaghetti.
No, my ex-wife, when she said, you want ganuki? I said, yeah, I like ganuki. You know, let's go to bed and have some.
Let's go have some ganuki.
But that's what she called in gnocchi, is gookie. And then we love when they call manicotti.
Wow, look at it. He's gonna make you an espresso.
Wait, manicotti.
Yeah, manicotti.
However the fuck they say, manicotti.
So hang on real quick, you guys, because we've only got like 2 minutes because we've got another guest coming in. First of all, is Facebook your only social media? Green guy. Hey, green guy.
Hey, green guy.
That's the
Wait. Can
sleeper. Just call him the sleeper.
Hey, the sleeper. Hey, what's up?
Can I say something really quick? Please do me a favor. Say hello to John and Teresa Vecchio.
Hey, John. Hello, John and Teresa Vecchio. How you doing?
Because
Giovanni e Teresa Vecchio.
Because they definitely are going to watch the show and they listen to you all the time.
Oh,
Before I
absolutely.
knew you, because when I said to Johnny, you got to watch these guys. He said, "Oh yeah, I got them already on my Facebook or something."
So do you guys have anything else? Like, is there an Instagram, a Wise Guyz Instagram or anything else?
I think the best place to find us is on our Facebook group page. We have an entertainment page, but our group page is our base, our home base, and then everything after that, like YouTube and
We do have an Instagram though, Wise Guyz Show.
Yeah.
It's called Wise Guyz Show.
Yeah, but I mean, we use it now and then, but our base is definitely our Facebook group,
Yeah.
which is really blowing up little by little now. It's just a matter of time.
Well, we're going to be in New York.
Oh, and by the way, Ron, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I did post your interview with us, just your interview, separate, yesterday. I
Oh,
posted.
good. Whatever. Who cares about
It's
me?
all different.
Anytime you say New York, I gotta go. New York.
Save it to the stage. Listen,
That was really good.
all Italians can sing. Jimmy.
What can we do right?
Wait. I have to do a plug. Jimmy and I are going to be in New York in September for Soho Johnny's big event. So definitely we're going to hook up with you guys and have a nice pasta and a glass of wine, and we could really let loose and have a good time.
If you come to Hoboken, not only are you going to see the star of Sinatra, we're in Sinatra Park at Blue Eyes Restaurant, wood fire brick oven pizza, the #1 view of New York City on the Hoboken side.
Okay.
On that calls for a not so. Can we do a not so?
Wait, if ever you come to Palm Springs, listen, if you come to Palm Springs, 20 minutes away from our house is the cemetery where Frank is buried.
Oh, you definitely.
Or you could
would
go
have,
and
you have to
visit.
bring us.
Visit.
Okay.
He's great.
I see his ghost every night in front of the house.
Let's
There you
call.
go.
Let's do a not so. Are we ready? Can we close off with a not so?
Okay.
Uno.
Do it.
Tres.
I love it. All right, guys. Everybody tune in to the Wise Guyz Show. Thank you so much for coming on the show, you guys. We appreciate it. It was lots of fun. Everybody will join your page. And,
You guys are great.
And
Just
we'll see you
great.
when we go to New York.
I can't wait.
Thank
I'll
you.
get you
Thank
an
you.
invite
Jimmy,
list.
Ron,
We'll
thank
see
you.
you then.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye. Ciao, Belly. Ciao. Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye, everybody. Hey, everybody in the chat room. Hope you guys
What
enjoyed
nice
that. Nice
guys.
guys. And
These are the kind of guys I grew up with. You know, I'm so comfortable with them because I know that you can say whatever you like, and if God forbid you're in trouble, your car broke down, or you got somebody that's not nice to you, you can call your friends and they'll stick up for you and they'll help you with a flat. They'll come out at 3:00 in the morning if your car is broken down somewhere and you're in the rain. This is old Brooklyn, New Jersey, New York, Italian culture.
Gotta love it. All right, everybody. Now we're going to bring on our next guest. Bring him in. Bring him in. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing, Kevin?
What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, good.
What'd
we
you
hear
think?
you
What'd
good.
you think of the guests before you?
They were very entertaining, you know, and I did not realize how white I am with the way that I talk about Italian stuff. I do say gnocchi. I do. That's one of the only ones. But living out here in California, I realize I white up everything else that I say, and some people try to correct me, but I'm like, look, it's like L's sound like L's to me. I don't know. They're not white. Out here I say El Polo Loco, and I'm like, I just want to get some chicken.
You definitely could play an Italian in a movie. You look Italian.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've done that a couple times, so hopefully the next fun one will be right
And
around
if
the
ever
corner.
you need a Guido accent, call me. I'll teach you how to talk like New York. You know,
Deal. Yeah, I will happily come out and spend a couple days out in Palm Springs with you guys, and I'll just pick up on everything that you say.
No, when I see certain movies and I see these actors doing a New York accent, I want to puke. It is so bad. It is so not real. They over accentuate it. It's just a slight slang. It's not how they do it. And I really, who was it that was doing an Italian accent somewhere?
Jason Finney needed help.
Jason Finney needed help with an Italian accent.
It was terrible.
I wanted to eat glass.
Yeah, at least
it was a nightmare.
All right, hang on, everybody. Hang on. All right, everybody.
He never got it right.
I need a good introduction here. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, writer, director, superstar, actor, stunt performer, Kevin Caliber. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, guys. Always love running India. It's so nice to actually have a time to sit down and have a proper chat whenever we're not being pulled in a million directions. Because you guys are like the kings of the red carpet. Every time I see you, I get about 15 seconds of FaceTime, and then, you know, there's a million people to greet and shake hands and hug and all that good stuff.
Let me tell you something. You are so handsome in person.
In the chat room, they're all writing, he is so gorgeous.
No, girl, ladies, put new batteries in your vibrator. And gay guys, get over it. He's straight. But in person, you're 3D. In film, you're 2D. You're handsome as hell in 2D, but you're magnificently gorgeous in 3D. And I say that as if you were my son, not like an old fag trying to hit on a cute guy. But no, seriously.
Even Teresa Saban's in the chat room going, oh my God, is he gorgeous?
And you know what? Not only is he good looking, he's got the body of death. You have to see the movie. Am I in that movie?
Barry, no, you're not in the movie.
I'm not in Barry. No. Oh, I forget.
You should have been.
No, but I forget all the friggin' junky movies I'm in. Barry is about a huge life-size teddy bear that kills people. And
we went to the screening.
The movie
2 weeks
opens
ago.
up with him half naked, possibly almost all naked, banging some broad. So it was a very provocative opening because we see this gorgeous guy with this beautiful body and this gorgeous woman with nice tits and everything bouncing, and it was very interesting.
So hold on, everybody. First of all, before we start talking more about you, we have a chat room full of people, and they're all talking about how gorgeous you are. So say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Well, hello, everybody in the chat room. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope that, you know, the words that come out of my mouth make you not want to think that I'm ugly afterwards. And hopefully you still find me charming and enjoyable.
Listen,
say hi to Teresa, too, because Teresa's really like, she's like, oh, my God.
Hey, Teresa.
Years ago in New York City, I met Bernadette Peters. And the first thing out of my mouth was, "You're going to be a great star." She said, "How do you know?" I said, "I just know. When I met you, I said to you, you're going to be a great star. And I just know when the right movie comes along, I don't mean a horror movie, I mean a real movie, and a good, smart PR person or producer or somebody knows what you've got, you're going to be as big as all those other guys in Hollywood. You're going to go places because you really have wonderful speech, beautiful body, gorgeous face, and you're nice, and you're not into yourself." And your girlfriend and I had a long talk, and she said,
Ashley. Hi, Ashley. We're saying hi to Ashley.
Say hi to Ashley.
That's her name, right? That's her name, right? I hope I didn't.
That is. Yeah. No, you nailed it.
And I said to her, "How does he get that body?" She said, "He works out every single day."
So if you guys want to see what that body actually looks like, go to Instagram. He's got a great Instagram, and his Kevin Caliber, KevinCaliber. Let's follow him on Instagram. He's gorgeous, and I want to tell everybody like a little story. So like 2 or 2.5 years ago, we went to a terrible movie premiere, and I didn't even know that you were in it. I didn't even know you were in that movie. Like you were there, and I thought, when we talked to you,
what was the movie?
It was Tales of Frankenstein. And it was all these different Frankenstein bomberoos. And I didn't even know you were in it. And I remember talking to you, and you didn't even tell us you were in it. And you were at the premiere. I just thought, here's a celebrity guy at the premiere, we're like meeting him. And so, I mean, not to knock anybody, everybody's making their dreams happen and everything, but it wasn't a great film. And so then we saw him again at Barry, which we were thinking, oh my God, I wonder if this movie's going to be any good. And we're good friends with Thomas Haley and Jessica Cameron.
And French is a dear friend of ours.
And Sarah French is a good friend of ours. So we drove in for it. And I have to say, for a low-budget indie horror film, it's probably one of the best low-budget indie horror films. And when I say low budget, I'm talking like $500,000 and under. And I know the budget of this was very, very low, but it was better than almost any film we've seen. It was original. It was different. Everybody acted really good in it. There weren't any really shitty actors in it. And the whole film was super fun and enjoyable. We had a great time.
And I really hated you.
Yeah, I hated you too.
Done. Yeah, it means I did my job.
Your part, you really killed it, because I don't really get involved emotionally because I'm an actor, so I know the bullshit behind the scene. But I sat there and I said, this guy is a real prick. and look how he's treating my lovely Sarah French. I hope he dies. And I don't want to give it away.
Spoiler alert.
But you did such a good, convincing job of playing an asshole.
And I was so happy when you died. I really was.
Thank you. Good. I was happy when I died too. I wanted a very punchable character.
You played that part really well. I have to tell you.
So let me brag a little for you. So you guys, some of the
things... don't be ashamed of shitty movies, because people say to me all the time, "Oh, Clown Fear was such a piece of shit." And I say, I know, I was in it.
So you guys, some of the other stuff you would have seen, because we're talking about some indie stuff, but he's actually a super mainstream kind of guy. For anybody who liked the TV series Futureman, which starred the guy from all the Josh, what's his name?
Hunger Games, Josh Hutcherson.
Yeah, Josh Hutcherson, and we have a very good friend, Robert Craighead, who was in that. Robert
is great. He was one of my favorites from that show. He's love great.
Robert's a great guy.
And we also had a kid actor that's a friend of ours, that his mom's a photographer. Now I forgot his name. Isn't that funny? But anyway, Futureman, which is a super mainstream, fabulous show that you were in a bunch of episodes of, and then you're in Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have-Nots, which you're in a ton of episodes of that. And we've actually had several. We're friends with a lot of people that are in that. It's a phenomenal show. I had no idea that it had been on so long. For some reason in my head, I was thinking it might have 20 episodes. It has 100 and something episodes.
Yeah, I was personally in, I think, 25 episodes, and I did 3 seasons on that one. It actually just had its series finale last Tuesday. So last night they did the reunion show, all that stuff. Had John Schneider. Most of my parts got to be with him. My whole first season, I think every scene that I was in was with him. And just, again, a great work environment that you just can't, you hear about these things, you're like, how in the hell are these shows so successful? And you go there and you experience it. And honestly, my experience shooting that down in Atlanta was better than almost every experience I've actually had in Hollywood. I think that Hollywood really needs to take a page out of Tyler Perry's book and out of the way that they treat people. Everybody's like a family down there. And it's just such a friendly environment. You want it to succeed.
It's the South. Jimmy put you in his call list If a part comes up in one of his movies, he's going to call you. Jimmy does not do shitty $2 movies. Jimmy's movies are all in the millions of dollars, and they're major.
And we're shooting them all in Atlanta.
Wait, they're major feature films that are shown in theaters throughout the world. So I want you to know that.
I did put you on my list now.
That's how much we both believe in you.
I think you're going to be a superstar. And for the haves and the have-nots, like one of my business partners in my production company, his name is Alessandro Fulcito. He's a big stunt guy, and he's actually in 3 episodes of the have and the have-nots. Also, so he was in it. And he lives in Atlanta. He's in every major thing. Like when that new Rock movie comes out, he fights the Rock. In the movie that's coming out, I forgot, Red Notion or Red Notice. But also, John Schneider's been on our show several times, and I'm very good friends with his publicist, and I'm a publicist, so we get along really well. And he's been on our show twice. And Oscar Torre was in it. I don't know if you know Oscar Torre, but he's been on our show. He's
very cool.
He's on my red carpet list to invite people to events.
Excuse me, I have bronchitis,
and that's fine. So I think that those two things, those are like mainstream, super huge, successful mainstream credits. So congratulations on that. How long have you actually been like pursuing acting?
I've been doing it full time for coming up on a decade now. I was doing it part time. I played music throughout my 20s back in Missouri. I booked my first pilot out of Missouri, and I didn't realize how few pilots actually get picked up. So that was about a decade ago, and it got picked up. Or we did the pilot. I was under contract, and then the show didn't get picked up. And the day that the show didn't get picked up was the day I decided that I was going to go all in and move to LA and do that. So coming up on a decade, and I've been very fortunate. I like playing a little bit of everything. I've obviously played in the horror world. I love those people. They're just the horror community is just, it's funny for the stuff that they create. They're actually the nicest people. Whereas I've noticed that a lot of people that do comedy are actually really wound tight, it seems to be. And I'm not, it's probably not fair to make a blanket statement like people who do comedy aren't fun.
No, you're 100% right.
It really feels like that.
I was in a couple of shows with Joan Rivers years ago, stage, and in the green room, she was quiet, wound up tight, like you said. The minute she got on stage, she was Joan Rivers. It's difficult. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm getting old.
That's okay.
Nah, you're in your prime.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. You're in your early 30s, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in my late 30s now, but again, I take as good a care of myself as I possibly
look good.
can.
You look like
I appreciate that.
You look 30, 31 years old, so you have a longevity career. Also, I do all of the movies that I do, and I've got 3 of them out right now, only because I love working with the kids. I feel young. I feel terrific. I love Marcel Waltz. I love Sarah French. I love Thomas Haley. I love Jesse Cameron, Sadie Katz. These are my pals. By the way, I hope soon we're going to go to Jesse and Thomas's wedding. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I actually saw them again the other night. They came out to support another festival. We're in the Anti-Hero Fest, and it was actually a film that I was in. I had a smaller part in it, but it was actually my girlfriend Ashley's, her film. She produced it and starred in it, and I was in a little part of it, and I did the stunts and all that. But it actually won. The best horror short. I was proud of her.
Congratulations, Ashley! Congratulations.
Yeah.
You have another horror movie, too, that I don't think it's out yet because I was talking to Thomas about it, but we know everybody in it. It's called Desert Moon, and it's also a Thomas Haley indie film starring Sarah French, Richard Grieco, Thomas Haley, James Duvall, Maria Olsen, Tyler Gallant, Charles Chudabala, Julianne Prescott, and you. And all those people except for Charles have been on our show.
Do you know how
and Brooklyn. Thomas's daughter Brooklyn
Haley,
was also in that. It was the first time I actually got to work with Brooklyn, so that was fun. Yeah, Jen Nangle is also in that, who is Malvolia. It was great crew on that one as well. Again, whenever you get these kind of groups, it's it's so much fun to who's in this one and how can we make that, because you don't want to work with the same people over and over again, because at some point the monotony does kind of show up on screen. But at the same time, whenever you're talking about the longevity of careers over the period of time, I think that was mine and Sarah's. I believe that was our 3rd movie together. We had a scene in Death House together where we were the 2 victims of Sid Haig, the icicle killer, and then we did another indie together, and then of course with Barry. So And with Thomas Hale, I think I've worked with him 3 or 4 times. We actually met on set as actors, and then he invited me to be in his movie. I tried to have him be in one of my movies. So it's kind of it's a fun thing whenever you realize how good of people these are, and you can be the best looking person, the best actor, but if you're an asshole, I'm not going to come work with you.
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen.
I agree 100%.
Wait, that goes for directors as well. Let me tell you the story how I met Richard Grieco. I was peeing at a urinal. He came next to me.
Wait, we were at a red carpet premiere.
And he peed at his urinal. And as we both were peeing, I looked at him. I said, "My name is Ron Russell. I'd like you to come on our TV show." And he looked at me like I was off the wall. And then outside later in the lobby, I said, "Seriously?" I said, "I wasn't trying to look at your dick. I was trying to get you on my TV show." So now he goes hysterical laughing, and he did. And he's become
we're friends.
And he's become a friend of ours. And he's really a deep, interesting, cool guy. I like him a lot.
So I have several little questions for you. And the first one, so you did a movie called Bite, and don't say what it's about yet. Is that a movie that anybody can see someplace?
Yeah, I believe that one's on, I think it was on Amazon. That one was one that came out a couple years ago, so it kind of did its circuit thing like most of them. I know it was up for pretty big awards at one time, so it was mainstream distribution. I kind of lose track of them, sometimes.
Are you the star? Are you like the star of it?
I am not. I'm not the star of Bite. It was another gentleman that I met, and it's actually, ironically, it's not. People get bit, but it's actually bed bugs that do the
I know,
biting.
that's why I want to bring, because Ron is terrified of
I
bed
will
bugs.
not see that movie.
It's about an army of human-sized bed bugs.
Do not invite us. I will never go.
It's a fun thing, but Ron, you don't need to watch that.
He's
one.
so afraid of bed bugs.
I'm not afraid of them. I despise them. When we travel and we go to motels, I bring a plastic sheet to put over the mattress. I have a blue light. I check and I bring my own pillow. That's how nuts I am.
Good for you. Yeah, it's traumatizing. Something like that'll stay with you, literally and figuratively.
Bed bugs biting. Get out of here. No, that movie's got to be disgusting.
So the other thing, though, that I wanted, because I was looking on your IMDb, and you have a lot of like Superman. I don't know if those are like fan filmy kinds of things or what they are, but you literally would make. I think you would make a better Superman than the one they have on the TV show now.
I appreciate that.
You look like Superman. You should be fucking Superman.
Well.
He should
it's funny. It's funny you say that because I actually was the Superman of Supergirl, the original one, and then they shot that out of Warner Brothers here in L.A. We shot it out at it was on CBS at the time. It did one season on CBS, and then CBS axed it, but then they moved it over to the CW to let it join that universe. And then whenever it did that, it moved to Vancouver. And then I never even had a shot to audition for it. But the silhouettes, all the actiony stuff, that was all me. So that actually was me and the original Supergirl Superman. So I appreciate it. Tyler's done a good job with it, but I get that from a lot of people. The Superman fandom is the best. I love our horror fans, but the Superman community is about as diehard and as fun-loving because there's a little Superman inside of everybody. So
absolutely,
and everybody's either had a shirt or a logo or something throughout the years. I mean, even me, I still, it's
I have one
just
of those
something.
too.
And I was happy to meet Superman at that wonderful cocktail party in Beverly Hills we went to. What's his name? The cute guy, the Superman guy.
Tyler?
No,
he didn't. We've never met Tyler.
This
I used to know his ex-girlfriend.
This guy's a big name actor.
Who?
The guy that plays Superboy, Superman, Super Zero, some shit. Superman. We met him at the cocktail party. We have pictures.
Oh,
with
the
him.
actual.
He's talking about Dean Cain.
No. Okay. Yeah.
He knows Dean Cain.
Dean Cain is really such a nice guy, friendly and warm, and he was just so wonderful at the party.
We meet so many people I forget, who plays. There's so many Superman, but I think that for you, and I think Tyler did a great job, and I had a chance to meet him.
Tyler Grant?
No.
Oh.
He used to date Rachel Brooks Smith. Do you know Rachel Brooks Smith? She's she's in a bunch of cool movies and dance movies because she's like a dancer. And I'm pretty sure they used to like date, and so I thought through her maybe we would meet him, but then we didn't. And then he got Superman, and now he kind of like blew up. But he was also in the werewolf thing on the werewolf show on
Another
MTV.
Brain Dead.
No, a really good one. I forgot.
Oh, you.
Teen Wolf, or which one was
Yeah,
he
Teen
in?
Wolf. Yeah, he was in Teen Wolf. You know,
Yeah,
And
he's done some really good stuff.
I think he's a great.
I'm actually a big fan of his as an actor. He was in Palm Springs last year, which I'm not sure if you guys watched Palm Springs, the Andy Samberg movie. It was one of my favorite movies that came out last year, and he played the dick. He played close to the guy that I was in Barry, I guess you could say. So the parallels are definitely there. He's one that I could look at and say, like, I would love to be able to do that. Or you brought up Richard Grieco. Like, if I could do a film like If Looks Could Kill, and it could be my fun, one, like, I would love that. Like, anybody out there, you want to redo that, I'll pretend like I'm still in high school, or you could change the storyline, but it's things like that. That's what makes me as a fan of film.
I want to ask you a question, and I asked this to many actors. Were you directed to play the part you played as well as you did, or where did you get it from to do it?
So with that one in particular for Barry, it was amazing because, like we said, it depends on the environment that you're in. So I had gotten reached out to by the director, Alex Huang, to come and audition. I had met Alex one time on set before from a movie that we were both playing cops, and so he hit me up on Facebook. So I go to this audition, and I walked in, and sitting behind the table was him, his wife, and Thomas Haley, because they're all the three producers. And then Sarah French was in the room with me. And there was just something about how comfortable you feel whenever you're in a warm environment, because auditioning is terrible. It really is. Like, even trying to do it and get, I want to be directed, but I also like want to use my first instinct. So with that one, it was just one that really I just made it up myself and then went in there. And it was almost fun to like look at Sarah and be doing the lines with her and just trying to crush her in so many ways. Like it just really felt good. And she's such a giving actress. She just, on set, she was the real tears. Everything. You could feel it and you feed off of it as an actor. And she wasn't worried about looking beautiful in every shot. She was worried about getting a performance. So I did get a little bit of direction. Alex did have a vision of how he wanted me to be. More of it was just about the blocking and pacing. But for the most part, it was me that was really bringing it out. And it was just taking a cataclysm, just a combination of everything that I know and what I've seen that I think works, and just playing it to my advantage. Because I play a lot of assholes. Look at me. I look like I'm probably an asshole.
Yeah, I know. But some people do it in a way where it's rough. I tell Sarah all the time. I'm one of her biggest fans from Blind. I tell Sarah, I write this. I say, Sarah French does not act. She is. And I want to say the same thing about you. What you did in that movie, you didn't act, you were. When an actor acts and the audience knows he's acting, the value of the performance is gone. The trick is not to let the people think you're acting, but to become who you are. And you did that. I was very impressed with your performance, my friend, or we wouldn't have given you such hullabaloo.
Thank you. No, that really means a lot.
No, I'm
coming
serious.
From somebody like you. I'm sure you've seen more movies and performances.
I've seen millions of movies since I was a kid. I don't forget, I know all the Hollywood glamour of years ago. All of those people were my friends, so I would go to premieres for like Humphrey Bogart or whatever, or Lauren Bacall, whatever. So cool. And your performance was real. Sarah's is real. The movie was fun. I enjoyed it, but I think you two made it better. No offense to the girl that you were banging. She was kind of annoying. I wanted to hit her. No, it wasn't her. It was a friend.
No, it wasn't. That was Sarah he was banging.
No.
At the beginning.
Who was in? I think I got movies confused. No, who played Sarah's girlfriend? Our friend, Felicia.
Felissa.
And I thought Felissa was a bit much. And I said to myself, I'm going to tell her, play it down. You were bouncy and drinky.
And we love Felissa. She's been on the show.
And I love her.
She's amazing. I love Felissa.
She's a very good friend of ours. And I just was disappointed in her performance. I expected so much better from her. It almost looked like she was trying to upstage everybody. And that's, I don't like looking at. But
I didn't think she was bad.
No, I love Felissa. But, Felissa's personality is that bubbly personality. She plays that a lot. She's in the movie I'm in, the big friggin' rat. And she's a camp person and she gets killed by the rat. And she's even bubbly and hysterical in that. So I think she's just a bubbly, hysterical actress, which is okay because in the horror films, that's what they like.
Which works. So I want to go back because I didn't understand some of these things. So because I really do think that you need to get a break and you need an agent to like pitch you for something.
No, let me tell you something.
Hang on, wait. Let me talk.
Wait a minute. I got to correct you. His work record is very good.
No, but he should be super fucking man. Like they were looking because they said that one guy wasn't coming back for Superman, but now I guess he's coming back for the DC movies. Like you,
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, like you could replace Henry Cavill in 2 freaking seconds.
Do you know anybody you could plug him to?
No, I don't, but I wish I did.
So if anybody out there is connected with anybody with the new Superman,
should be Superman.
Put this guy's name.
So in Supergirl, then, is it your? Because I only watched the first episode of Supergirl. I didn't actually watch it. So like, you're in the first season, but is it not your face? It's just your body doing the action.
It's not real. Yeah, you can't. They do a lot of silhouettes. So whenever we did the pilot for it, which was funny because I went in for a Superman type. Whenever I went in for the audition, and it was funny to go there and just seeing that in the room with all these guys. You're like, yep, every one of these guys can be Superman. And then, and I didn't even know what it was for. It just said Warner Brothers pilot. That's all it says. Warner Brothers pilot, Superman type. And it's not until I actually went to the bathroom and there was a sign over the toilet. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it said like, be a Superman or it was like, be polite because there are super girls working here that have to sit on the toilet. So like, like wipe up after yourself.
That's right. It's funny.
It was something in that. And I'm just staring at it like, is this? And then, so I go out and I meet with the director and it came down to 2 actors and we go outside and we do they actually took us outside on the second audition, actually did like a screen test right then and there. And so they take the 2 of us and then they're all huddling up. The director was Glenn Winters, who did Smallville. That was his big one. So they brought him in to do the pilot episode and we did a screen test right then and there. And they came over to me and said, hey, can you go to costume department right now and start on a fitting because they built the super suit to me. It took about a month to build. So I went right then and there. And so whenever we're on set, Glenn was so excited. He's like, oh, we're going to do this and this and this. And then you could kind of tell that the politics were already getting involved because there's the people from the network, the people from Warner Brothers, DC, everything. And they were already kind of at odds. There was rewrites before as we're shooting the scenes. And basically what it boiled down to is they're like, we want to know that it's Superman, but we don't really want to see Superman because we don't want to take away from Supergirl. We have to, she's the star of the show.
Right.
Not Superman, Supergirl, which I get, so whenever it actually came out, I actually talked to somebody that worked in the effects department and they said that they were the one doing the renderings of the edits and of how much silhouette. And they just kept saying like, blow them out more, like more silhouette-y. We're seeing too much. We don't want this. So you literally see the hands, the cape, my full silhouette, and then the reach of Superman pulling her out of the pod that she's in. And then later on in the season, you'll see a swoop in or you see like the shot like in between my boots shooting. Dean Cain was actually on that set. It was Helen Slater and Dean Cain. That was my oh shit, this is real moment whenever they took me to hair and makeup and I'm sitting in between. I got Helen Slater, the original Supergirl from the movie, and then of course Dean Cain.
Superman. That is so cool.
So I'm sitting in between them. We're like, okay, I guess this is the real deal. So
I am a big superhero. Like I collect horror movie memorabilia and superhero stuff. So I have like all these action figures and stuff. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited about like Suicide Squad, the new one, and we have a friend who's like one of the main characters in it. And like I see you though playing. I mean, I really see you as Superman, but like you've got the physique and the acting chops. You need to be in a superhero in one of these movies.
I want to say something. Do you have stills, nice clear stills of yourself in this Superman uniform?
Yeah,
costume.
I mean they're okay. There's so many.
Hang on. Give them to your agent and tell your agent to send them to whoever is casting Superman. You never know. I mean, I didn't know you were Superman.
Here's what we need to do. We need to figure out a comic book character that hasn't had a movie yet and see if we can get the rights and build the whole story around
make
you.
A wonderful
Now, this Flash Gordon, we already have Flash Gordon's already.
I worked with Flash Gordon last month.
Which one? Which one?
What's his name? Ted.
No, you mean the Flash Gordon guy, the blonde.
Yeah,
the old guy. Oh, he's a doll. We love him.
Yeah, he's great.
Oh,
yeah, I just worked with him last month.
Sam.
Yeah, just worked with him last month. He's great, or maybe 2 months ago. But yeah, just worked with him recently. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I want to play in the Flash Gordon movie. I want to play Flash Gordon's grandfather.
There's a guy here in There's a guy here in the desert who has original movie props, and he doesn't let people in really to see it. But a friend of ours knew him, and so got me in because he knows I'm into all that. He has like an original C-3PO, an original like Robbie the Robot, and he has the actual original Stratosled from Flash Gordon from the 30s,
from the 1936 film.
I mean, it was like
that
freaking
beautiful
awesome.
silver Stratosled. I was a Flash Gordon fiend as a kid. I love Flash Gordon.
We should find a project or find a way to get you a project to be a superhero, because that's my favorite fucking shit. Like, I can't wait for Suicide Squad to come out.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so
James
excited.
Gunn is a genius. I love him. Another boy from St. Louis, and I love it. Love seeing all of his stuff. I would absolutely love to be in one of their films.
I think that, and I think you should be. So I think that's what we need to think about and figure out how to do it, because I don't know. I'm like an idea person. Like, I don't know what superhero we get. At worst case scenario, we create our own. If we
I actually have a script for one that I created. It was my big project I've been percolating for 5 years, and ironically, it was, I want to say, the weekend before lockdown. I went to the red carpet premiere of The Invisible Man out at the Chinese Theater, and we're
good movie.
In the line down the sidewalk and up the side.
Movie.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, Lee Wanell's another one that loved to do one of his films. I love his work. I should have been an upgrade. It was amazing.
He was on our show. We had him on the show.
And the gal that starred in the Invisible Man, she did a brilliant job.
Oh, she's so good.
Wait a sec. So go ahead. So
So we're at the premiere, and we're waiting in line. Me and my girlfriend Ashley, and we're shooting the shit, and she says, "Well, tell me about one of these ideas." And I'm like, "Well, I got this one. We don't have that one that." And I was like, I'm not really a writer. It's all scattered thoughts in my head. So we're standing there. For anybody who knows Hollywood, or if you don't, I'll explain it. As you go down Hollywood Boulevard and then you wrap around the corner, there is a store there, Marshall's, the retail store. Yeah. And so we're standing there. So just as a reference, I go, all right, so this guy, we'll call him and I look over and I say, the Marshall Man. And then lockdown happened like a week later. And she goes, so what about that Marshall Man? And I go, oh, now it's kind of that put up or shut up. Like, she says, I got the writing program. I know how to write. I'll organize your thoughts. So we went out to dinner, I want to say that night, and wrote out the 3-act structure, all the bullet points. And the next week we started writing. As soon as lockdown started, we gave ourselves the time, and we made it happen. So that's what I did during lockdown, was create the character.
So we have to crowdfund to turn it into a comic book, which you can do. I've crowdfunded for that. You crowdfund it, you turn it into a comic book, you get the comic book for sale, and then we turn it into a movie. And
would love it.
I'm all about it. So
so speaking of creating a fun character and crowdfund, we just debuted we just put out the trailer at the last film fest for my new film, 16 Bits. This is one that we crowdfunded. I executive produced and starred in. It took us a couple years to make it, but it's almost done. Well, we're going to go public with the trailer probably next week. We've just been putting it out there for a couple special occasions so far, but that one's called 16 Bits, and I actually play a character named Wax Waster in the thing. And it's a little throwback. It's supposed to be, it's a guy's 40th birthday party, and all he wants to do is hang out and have an adolescent birthday party and eat pizza and play old school video games like him and his buddies all did when they were 12 years old. And none of his buddies want to have anything to do with it because they're 40 years old. And why do they want to sit around and play video games like a child? So the guy gets depressed, and lo and behold, his favorite video game character comes to life, comes out of the game, and then shows them an amazing time. So they go out there and have the night of their lives. So
that's cute.
So I play the video game character come to life. So I got real buff for that one. It was one of those ones that's most actors are like, I want to have to lose a lot of weight or get really fat. For me, it was, I want to get really buff because I'm playing basically a video game character come to life. So it's we're real excited about that one. The crowdfund went okay. We didn't raise what we wanted to, but we were able to make it happen. So yeah, should be coming out soon. I'll certainly share it with everybody whenever it does.
Give us the name again.
Yeah, so the movie is 16 bits. The character is Wax Waster. You can find him on Instagram at Wax Waster. Wax with 2 X's. WAXXWASTER. And it's 16 bits movie. Wax Waster. I am Wax. You may not recognize me. I do have a beard and all the fun stuff to go with it. But I tried to go full blown character on that one. It was one that really got behind. This is one that I could potentially would love to see a franchise come out of. It is in the horror-esque genre. To me, I think of it more as like a comedy action, buddy comedy thriller with some horror elements, because basically it is, in video games there are no rules. You see these Grand Theft Auto or these games where they just shoot whoever and do whatever. So basically it's taking video game logic. I'm this big video game character that is used to doing whatever I want, but now I'm doing it in the real world. And
that's so cool. Somebody made you a Funko, like a Funko Pop for it.
That's right.
Hang on. So hold on. There, that's his character.
Yeah, I kept saying I wanted to be. I love those. I want to be an action figure. That's,
I do too. I want to be an
right?
action. I want to be an action figure too. We want to be comic books, so we're in 2 comic books that we're characters in 2 comic books. Actually, we play ourselves in 2 comic books.
Yeah, but the guy that drew me made me look 21 and gorgeous. And then if you see me on screen, it's different. Have you ever seen me on screen?
Gregory Blair. Blair.
Have you ever seen any?
Gregory Blair.
Have you ever seen me on screen? Any of the movies I'm in?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. Like I said, I lived in
which one? So
I saw Clown Fear. Yeah, no. Clown Fear, was that Sadie's film?
Yeah, that's Sadie's film.
That's
Sadie's
right. Yeah,
I love
there was a couple. There was Clown Fear, Clown Hotel, and one other clown one that all came out very close to each other. Yes. But Clown Fear, yeah.
I played a Minister Light in the Loafers.
He's a Clown Fear, and he's in Clown Motel too.
Right. I play a sergeant. No, General Milan. That one I liked.
God, you look really buff though in this
in
this Wax Waster thing. Your arms look like they're bigger than
I got jacked. I'm not gonna lie. I got huge for it. And, I was after quarantine started. I think I dropped about 20 pounds almost instantly because I couldn't hit the gym. I mean, I was trying to be as buff as I could. I wanted to be larger in life. That was the idea. And whenever they pitched the idea, one of our producers pitched it to somebody to get full funding. We wouldn't have to worry about it. And first thing he says, I could get this other guy to play Wax. That was his part of it. That's why we didn't take the money, because he was going to, basically take it from us.
Right.
And so the producer goes, I already got a guy to play Wax. And he shows him a picture of me. The guy looks at it and goes, okay, yeah, that's better. That's way way better.
You're like totally like guy, and you have such nice teeth too.
Oh, thank you. They cost me a lot of money.
I think it's like fabulous. So okay, so let's do a like a hypothetical bucket list kind of thing. I always like to do this with the actors who come on. So if you could, there's 3 parts to it. First part is, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in? And then who's a bucket list male and female actor and actress that you're like, oh my God, I'd really love to work with this person?
All right. Well, I honestly think that the Terminator would have been the coolest one, but I think I'm going to go the other way with it. And I mean, not the other way. I think I'm going to say Die Hard, because there's something about the vulnerability there that,
yes.
Like I said, I want to do a one-man army. I'll do Die Hard. Remember that there was that long list of Die Hard on a bus with Speed, Die Hard on a train, and all those. I would love to do one of them. I'll go do Die Hard in a retirement home or whatever. I don't care, whatever it is. I'd love to. I'd love to do one of those movies. Yeah.
So you want to be like? So your ultimate thing would be to be an action hero. So you want to be like the next Rock.
That's it. Yeah, it was growing up in the 80s. I mean, you see behind me, there's a picture of I have a Rarity Terminator poster up there. It was just Arnold, Sly. They were my guys. I mean, I grew up in the 80s. They were my movies. It was, if I could remake anything, I'd probably do a buddy team up action comedy, something like a remake of like Tango and Cash. I think would have been a lot of fun, or like 48 Hours, something like that. Like I would just love to do something along those lines. But
I
as
see
far
that,
as
though. I actually see you doing that, though, because I see, sometimes actors, you ask them what they would want to be, and then you can't picture what their dream is. But with you, I could see you as an action star. Like, I could see you as an action star, totally.
Yeah, so I've done, I was a Marine Corps veteran, so I know how to handle weapons. I know how to carry myself, things like that. And that's actually done me very well. Let's say I get a little pigeonholed into, I play douchebags, I play cops, I play buff guys. Sometimes I'm a buff douche cop. So, it's anywhere
That's
in that
like
realm.
him. He's always a preach. He's always a mobster mostly.
Most of my older movies, I always played the tough guy. The wise guy, the guy that knows all the answers that people are afraid of. So when I got offered, first of all, I love Sadie Katz. She's like my daughter, one of my dearest, closest friends. And Sadie said, Ron, you could play the minister, and we want you to be gay in it. I said, that's easy. So when I went to shoot it, the director came out and he said, what was the name of the company that distributed it? Lionsgate. Said no gay. I said, no gay. I accepted it because I wanted to be the gay minister. So I gave them a slight version of being gay. And they kind of let it go through. It was fun for me not to be a hood killer, tough guy. Don't you ever feel that way? Sometimes you play a part too many times and you rather go do someplace else.
Absolutely. And that's where it's fun as an actor to try and find different nuances, because it's easy to put on that straight and narrow. For me, my voice naturally drops down whenever I'm playing these authoritative characters. And I just, for some reason, I don't know why, but my natural speaking voice is more up here. And then that's what's fun too about acting, that I notice anything that I've gotten, that I've like paid a high-end coach for, because I do take it serious, obvious. So if I need coaching, I'll get coaching, but I've never booked anything that I've been privately tutored or coached with and then went and auditioned for it. Everything that I've auditioned for, I was a version of myself and just going with my first instinct. Whether that was Futureman or The Haves, they were just ones that The Haves, I never even said the words out loud before I went to my audition. I was literally just running around Hollywood and went and popped in there. And what came out of my mouth, the very first take in the audition was the natural read. And I know that if I would have went to coaching for that, I would have, everything would have been overthought, very precise.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and just like you say, you could tell that people are acting whenever you do it. And years ago, I go to a lot of the SAG questionnaires and all that. I love going to Q&As, premieres, all that. And I went to one years ago and I heard Bryan Cranston speak. And I've been a fan of his since all the way back to King of Queens and Seinfeld as these side characters. Then, of course, when he was the dad on Malcolm in the Middle. And then I started watching Breaking Bad simply because of him. I remember watching episode 1 because I wanted to see him. I had no idea what it was about.
He was phenomenal.
And just absolutely phenomenal. So to see a trajectory of a career like that, because he could have easily, there's a lot of these guys that we see in old sitcoms. You're like, God, I used to see that guy in everything. How come he never did this or that? So to see a transformation with a guy like Cranston and then getting to hear him speak, and he just broke it down about the process and what he does. He seems like just such a giving person that to answer your second question, it's Cranston is one that I would absolutely just love to be able to share the scene, share a moment.
What about a female? What about a female then?
For female, it is Charlize Theron.
That's
kind of the same thing.
That's fine.
Yeah. She is just.
We love her. We love her.
She is so beautiful. So beautiful to see where she started from, and just and she puts everything into it, and you could see it with these characters, and it's hilarious to hear. I remember listening to her speak because she's one that I've done deep dives. I've listened to every interview she's ever done and just love it. And listen to her talk about Monster, and that was supposed to be a straight to DVD. It was actually straight to Blockbuster back whenever they used to still have those. And then they said they got the funding for it. And as they get the funding for it, it was they just think they're getting like a lesbian love story with a hot Charlize Theron and a hot Christina Ricci.
Hold Hold on, I'm sorry because we only got like 30 seconds left.
Oh no!
Shit, we're running out of time.
goes
We're gonna bring
fast.
you back because you're gonna have lots of stuff, and when your movie comes out, we'll come back again because everybody loved you. You guys, this is Kevin Caliber. Follow him on Instagram, Kevin Caliber. If you do the superhero movie, I'd love to come on board and help produce it, and because I'm all about it. Thank you so much for coming on. We want to say hi to Ashley. Congratulations to Ashley, and thanks everybody in the chat room. But what else you want to say?
He's terrific.
Yeah, he's terrific.
And everybody should see his movies because,
Thank you. Really appreciate it. One quick other little plug. Our TV show Job Guys just switched over to YouTube yesterday. So look up Job Guys. I star and produce that one too. We had a year on Amazon Prime. Now we're on YouTube. So there you'll find it free
for you.
for everybody.
All right, you guys. Job Guys.
Good.
Everybody check it out. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much, Kevin.
And
have a great weekend.
Kevin, we'll see
Thanks so
you
much.
at the next red carpet.
Yes.
Absolutely. Every time.
Looking forward.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, babe.
All right, everybody. Thanks
Good,
so
good,
much.
good
See you guys
interview.
on social media.
Yes.
Check out Jimmy Star's World for everything new going on, and follow my new Instagram, Jimmy Star Official. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
And watch Set the Record Straight, Ron Russell's interviews of the legends of Hollywood on YouTube.
Jimmy,
Yeah, this is MC Alfie. I'm just chilling, every star yo sitting down and designing. Why every man them are thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie.